What is up guys, it is Lely and today we are here with the PES 20 demo. It has been a few days, we've got a few more hours under our belt with this game. I thought I'd give you guys my views on how I feel. A lot of people are asking anyway, so I thought I'd put it in a video, and I don't want anyone to think what I'm about to say is me trying to sell the game or trying to rant on the game. I'm just giving you how I feel, my experience with the game so far. So this could go one of many ways. I could show you plenty of clips like this where I'm just taking away my opponent's dignity, making them send me messages like this in a demo. Get a grip, mate. Or we could move on to the next part where I'm showing you clips of, PES, I want to say 19 errors, but they're not just from PES 19, where look, I'm making not the best passes, but the response of my players just aren't great. And then there's other, again, I don't want to say PES 19 issues because they've been there longer, but you're defending properly, you're putting in good tackles, reading his play, but yet no matter what you do, even if you simple throw out from the goalkeeper, it always ends up at my opponent's feet. So, well, this one benefited me, but you get my point there. We can go from there. That's been more than a PES 19 issue. Here, guys, like I've said, I think the referees give free kicks away too easily. These two clips I'm showing you, both yellow card challenges, I have no issues with that, but then this. The inconsistent refereeing there. Look at that. That's potentially a red card challenge, definitely yellow card, and the ref doesn't even pull it back for a free kick. Or I could just sit here and show you images of the Queen. What, you got a problem with the Queen? Not on this video, you don't. No, you don't. Actually, no, wait, I need to stop that. Don't need to sound like a member of the EDL. But guys, no, on a serious note, what I will do is we'll go down with this rat and lug stick, and let's start with this first. So the one thing I don't like about this is they've rebranded it as a new feature. All they've really done is change the finesse dribble, because that's always been there. Instead of holding R2, now you hold the right and lug stick and it does that. And instead of flicking the right and lug stick before to do a step over, now you hold R2 and then flick the right and lug stick. So all they've actually done is remap it. Yes, they've made finesse dribbling a lot better, as in like they've refined it itself, but it's nothing new to the game. That's something you expect them to do. You expect them to make these features better as every year goes on. So calling it new, it's not new in that sense. All they've done is remap it. So they've made us learn it in a new way, but it's not actually something new to the game, which is something that really annoys me. I see people there talking about how it's a brilliant feature. It's always been there. It's been improved on. And all they've done to make people believe it's new is remap the buttons. That's something that's really annoyed me. But the way they've implemented it is great, but I just don't like the way they're trying to sell it to us. So that's one thing that although I like the way they've done it, as in implemented how effective it is in the game, I just don't like how they're trying to make it out a bigger deal than it actually is. Like I said, guys, this isn't a rant video, so I'm just going to let a game flow in the background, because that is one of this game's biggest strengths. It is the actual flow of a game. So I made the mistake of playing FIFA 19 Weekend League today, yes, on my friend's account. And the one thing that this game does really well when you're watching it, it actually resembles a game of football. Now, I'll mention what type of game of football it is very soon, but it's realistic to a point. Where I was just playing FIFA 19 Weekend League, and even the World Cup, FIFA 19 World Cup is on right now, and the E-World Cup that is, and it does not resemble football at all. It really doesn't. So the one thing I have to give this game credit for is it actually resembles a decent game of football. Now, the reason I say a decent game of football is because I feel, this is my preference, lads, and I feel like it would resemble a bit more of a real game of football if this game was sped up a little bit. I'm not saying PES 19 fast or FIFA 19 arcadey fast, nowhere near that. I'm saying 10 to 20% increase. Like right now, when I see this game played at this pace, I look back at goals like, can you remember Ronaldo against Arsenal, and I think it's a Champions League goal, that brilliant counter-attack. I just can't imagine that in this game. Like, I've got, probably I should have that clip running in the background now, but the way this game is paced at, it just doesn't feel like, even if you did replicate that, it would still feel such a slow. And the one brilliant thing about that Ronaldo goal was how breathtakingly fast and how beautiful it was in that one sweep. Everything about it. It was fast, it was accurate, it was all flowing. And in PES 20, it just feels too slow a game to recreate that perfect energy burst and stuff like that, if you know what I mean. That's why I say that game feels a bit slow. The physicality, I feel, like I said, I haven't actually said it already, but I feel like it's too impacting. So when I say it's too impacting, it makes sense, but it feels like it slows the game down even more. It feels like it's not flowing enough. It needs, again, like I said, if you increase the speed of the game, maybe it doesn't feel like that. but it feels it feels like it makes sense, and it feels realistic as well. So again, good progression on the physicality side. Hopefully now I won't see my Lionel Messi out jumper Van Dijk or something. So that physicality hopefully plays more of a part now more than ever. Another thing that's really annoyed me over the years is this here, lads. It just doesn't make sense. Yes, Sergio Roberto takes a bad touch, but why does he trip over thin air? Just because he's technically lost the ball, it shouldn't mean he has to trip over, or it's clearly obviously not a physics based game, it's obviously animated based, but that doesn't mean that when there's no one around him, just because he's lost the ball, that he has to now lose his momentum, lose his stride, lose his direction, and just hand all the initiative. You've already given enough of it to the opponent with that poor touch. Why can he not recover with his momentum that he's carrying, that pace that he's getting back? He may be able to recover the situation, but now that Cuadrado has touched the ball, it's actually added to the misery of that poor first touch. It's like, why stumble on it? Obviously, like I said, it's not a physics-driven game. It's clearly an animated-based system. So that's a thing that has annoyed me, because it has been there from the start of this engine, and it's like, please take that away. Just because someone loses the ball doesn't mean they physically lose momentum. There are good things about this game which have been, let's say, fixed from the last few years or improved on, like, for example, the dribbling or the tricks. For the last few years, tricks apart from double touch and maybe the step over, they haven't really been that useful in terms of actually beating or outwitting a man. They've just been aesthetically pleasing or just there for showboating. You know, most of the tricks don't really do a good service in the game, but this year it feels like the elastico, the reverse flip flap, all these other tricks are actually going to be useful in beating a man and not just there for showboat. Another good thing is if a guy is trying to rush a shot or pass, or his player is off balance, you will see it in the quality of the passing or shooting. It will reflect on it, so it kind of creates a skill gap like that. But saying all these things, guys, saying everything positive about the game, there's one thing this game lacks for me. And the reason why FIFA will probably stay ahead is not because it's going to have better gameplay or anything like that. It's going to have that one thing that PES for me is lacking right now, and it's that fun. There's just that element of crazy fun that you want from a PlayStation game. And when I say crazy fun, I don't mean as in like overhead kicks and El Tornadoes, not that. It's that frantic, you know, madness. It just seems, because the game's been slowing down that much, it doesn't feel like there's going to be a lot of scrambles in the box or quick counter attacks. You know, at moments like, yo, I almost thought I scored at the other end and suddenly I've conceded. Like, it's, you know, or the other way around, I almost thought I conceded, I scored within seconds later. It just feels like you want that from a PlayStation game, and FIFA will offer you that. Although to the extreme level, that's why I think it'll stay ahead, which I think if PES finds that balance, and I think if it increases its tempo ever so slightly, it could pick up that fun. And maybe I'm saying this because I'm playing a lot of pointless matches in the demo, where I don't have that motivation to play the game right now. Maybe, you know, that's what I'm saying, it lacks fun, but it needs something to spark this game to life. And if you're asking me right now, should you buy this game? It's too early for me to say that. Or should you stay away from this game? Again, it's too early. If you've grown sick of PES 19, I would say put the demo down for a bit, pick up this game close to release or a bit after release. Maybe that might be enough to you know, spark your excitement for the game, and you know, it may feel different to you, but if you keep playing it like I am right now, this game reminds me of PES 19 way too much. Maybe that won't change when the full game comes out, I don't know. But if you're coming from FIFA, you will enjoy the gameplay of this if you're willing to play a bit of a slower game. Whether you enjoy the game modes, we don't know yet. We're going to wait for more My Club news. I'll probably do a video about the My Club news when it drops anyway, and Master League news. Well, I've heard some bad things about Master League now. Like, they've not actually done too much to it. So, I'm not going to say much about that yet. But, you know, let's get the game in our hands and we'll find out about that then. So, yeah, guys. Let me know what you think about the demo in the comment section. Let me know if you like this video. If you've got anything you want to say, let me know and I'll hit you up in the comment section. If you did like this video, lads, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, then get the hell out of here. And yeah, it'll just save me from ranting at you. But yeah, if you want to see more, remember to subscribe. Until then, guys, peace!